Shalom Akim, Kahalayim La Yahabashim Yashab Bashim Kakudash, and double honors to great Muslim apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone. Yaris is that you find this video edifying and exhorting, and Thadi Yashab for the strength and all to make this video. And this one, shouldn't be a long video because, if brothers have seen the news, this is what's going on right now. And there's similarities. I'm going to just read the title. It says, how deadly is the Nipah V? Because, before you know it, let's say Esau actually uses this as a fear tactic again. They're going to start, shadow banning videos and, videos that say certain keywords. They're going to start taking them down. So you might as well just think ahead, start using the code words. But yeah, how deadly is the Nipah V compared to the Corona V? This is by DW News. But yeah, man, because, the Most High talked about pestilences being used as a punishment for Israelites, man. And not just for Israelites too, but also, heathens will be caught up in the mist, considering that Jacob is amongst the heathens. Because remember, we were scattered across the world. So before I even get that, let me get a precept, then I'll start the video. Deuteronomy 4 and verse 27, it says, and the Lord Yahweh shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither the Lord Yahweh shall lead you. And there ye shall serve gods, the work of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see nor hear nor eat nor smell. So of course, scattered amongst the heathens, and of course serving idols. For example, Christianity and Islam. Christianity can be likened as the wood in verse 28, and Islam as the stone, quite literally, because they go over there to worship that idol, that stone, circling around that thing. Anyways, the point of this video is on the V. So yeah, but the point is, it says we will be scattered among the nations. So of course that's where we'll serve idols, and that's why I mentioned with this pestilence that the Most High will then put upon Jake as well. It will be which is us suffering through the curses. It will be also the heathens are going to get caught up in it too. And Esau Edom, he's the weapon in order to really, I was going to say magnify that, because Esau is the Most High sword. But nevertheless, the point is that Esau will then be used to, because it's biological warfare. That's what it is. The Most High puts the evil thought within him. He creates the V, and then before you know it, people are scared, and then through fear, they then are subdued by Esau Edom, which is through the Most High as well anyways. Alright, so let's start with the video.
Health officials in India have confirmed cases of the deadly Nipah virus, and that's prompted authorities across Southeast Asia to boost security measures, including screenings at some airports. The World Health Organization lists Nipah as a priority disease due to its potential for fast-moving outbreaks.
Traveller testings were a familiar sight during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, a small outbreak of the deadly Nipah virus in India has prompted their return to several nearby countries, including here in Thailand. 2 cases of the virus were confirmed in India's West Bengal state in December. Carried by fruit bats and animals like pigs, Nipah can cause...
You see? Remember with the CV-19, they said it originally came... They were arguing, really. They were debating whether it came from bats or it was lab-made. But mainly the narrative that they pushed out there was that it came from bats. But that was from the land of Moab. Now you got the Indians, the Elamites. They're saying it's fruit bats now. That's the difference. They say fruit bats, and it says it's carried by fruit bats and it's carried by pigs, as you can see from the captions here.
Fever in his West Bengal state in December. Carried by fruit bats and animals like pigs, Nipah can cause fever and brain inflammation. While not highly contagious, The virus has a high death rate.
You actually need very sustained long periods of close contact in order to actually get infected. But what makes it dangerous is the high case fatality rate. Like 40 to 70% of the people who get infected with Nipah virus will actually die from the infection. But what makes it dangerous is the high case fatality rate. Like 40 to 70% of the people who get infected with Nipah virus will actually die from the infection.
So yeah, say 40 to 70% of people infected are actually going to be in that likely to die, as he just said. I'm pretty much just repeating what he said. But let me get a precept now. Right, this is Ezekiel. Actually, before I read that, as it says, Jerusalem's desolation foretold. This can be applied for these times as well. So, Ezekiel 5 and 12, a third part of thee shall die with the pestilence. Pestilence, of course, referring to sicknesses, diseases, what you just heard, the Nipah V. And with the famine shall they be consumed in the midst of thee. Again, hunger, lack of food. And the third part shall fall by the sword. Of course, Esau, Edom, gunning ninjas down, gunning Israelites, 2/3, wicked Israelites. And the third part of thee shall fall by the sword round about thee, and I'll scatter the third part into all the winds, and I'll draw out a sword after them. So that wherever Jake is, man, there's going to be some kind of a punishment to then go after them, man. So that's really, the key part is really pestilence right there. In the NLT it says, Ezekiel 5 and 12 on the right side here, a third of your people will die in the city from disease and famine. A third of them will be slaughtered by the enemy outside the city walls, and I'll scatter a third to the winds, chasing them with my sword. See? So, multiple ways from the Most High to punish Jake, man. Because remember, if you go back here, Yahweh made it clear. If Israel's going to be good, you're going to have to listen. If you don't listen, it's going to be a wrap. It's just going to be hardship upon hardship. So Exodus 15 and 26, and said, if thou wilt diligently hearken to the Lord, to the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, I will do that which is right in his sight. I will give ear to his commandments and keep all his statutes. I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians, which the modern day Egyptians are really, you can liken them as the Americans. So it says, considering America is also represented as Egypt within the scriptures. It says, for I am the Lord Yahweh that healeth thee. You see? Because it just comes down to faith. Faith in Yahweh Bashim Yashah for us to be healed of these sicknesses and ailments. Because remember, they're demons. And Yahweh did say by prayer and fasting, to cast off those demons, man. But also to cast off them sickness demons. Sometimes you gotta go on a fast, you pray, and then the Most High will heal. But again, fundamentally, you gotta have that faith in Yahweh Bashim Yashah, that belief, that knowing in Yahweh Bashim Yashah. Anyways, the point is, it says, I will put none of these diseases upon thee. That is if we were to listen, but we didn't listen. Hence why, we got the consequences of our disobedience. Hence why Jake is now going to get affected by this Nipah V. If it be so, that the Most High, pumps it out there where it's like, okay, it becomes as rampant as, it spreads as rampant as, well, it doesn't really spread that way. I think that the guy said that it's more so a case of the fatality rate. That's where people fear, not really the spreading. Because it says for long sessions of contacts with individuals, that's how it spreads. Anyways, but the point is, the Most High is going to protect us. But for those who don't have the wisdom of these scriptures, the faith in Yahweh Bashim Yashai, you're defenseless. The high case fatality rate, like 40 to 70% of the people who get infected with Nipah virus will actually die from the infection.
There is no approved vaccine or cure for Nipah. Health authorities in India are not taking any chances, carrying out contact tracing of nearly 200 people. So far, there's no sign the virus has spread. and fears of a wider COVID-style outbreak appear unlikely at this stage.
That's how it begins, though. It's unlikely, and then before you know it, in a few months' time, it's like everyone locked down. So it's this is what they say, but again, it's the Most High story that's happening here, man. He's the author of what goes on here. But the point is, we have our faith rooted in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. This is just us observing these times, of course, in correlation to the scriptures, really. So Akim just gotta open their eyes. That's why I named the video "Here We Go Again," Nipah V. Because it's like Esau's next mixtape is about to be released, if you know what I mean. But yeah, let me get this preset. I'm gonna close it out. Alright, this is Deuteronomy 28 and 22. The Lord Yahweh shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. So all these diseases and the pestilences, these are V's, they're all going to pursue after Jake, especially if they're defenseless. If they ain't got the names Yahweh Shem Yahushua, but not just the names Yahweh wa Yahushua, but also the faith, the belief within them. Or else what would be the point? So anyways, that's why faith is essential. And Shalom Akim, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Barakatah.